There.
Oh. Are you live yet?
She's not subscribed to me. I am live. Of course, the podcast hasn't started because it won't start till then, and even then, like, once that audio recording's there, it's good. But this will be shown for anyone who watches the YouTube version of this, because I'm not going to go in and edit the YouTube.
They'll get the fun little juicy first few seconds if we haven't hit the audio recording yet.
Hey, Duck Cat says heyo in chat. Shout out.
Shout out to Duck Cat.
Alright. Everything else we need? Yeah.
My hat's on straight?
You look pretty.
Thank you.
Am I allowed to say that?
My hat's on straight.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I think so. Like, even when we start with that, the audio recording, like, it doesn't even start necessarily right away because we can trim around the start.
But you want me to hit the record button?
Yes.
Go for it.
Ready?
Hell yeah.
Go for it.
Alright. Hi, welcome to BenG with a J. My name is Margie.
I'm the BenG of the BenG with a J.
I am the with a J.
Because you are, of course, Margie, which starts with a J if you look into the spelling of it, right?
Sure. Don't look into it.
Why not? I'm pretty sure it starts with it. Everyone can go look that up.
I didn't say it did.
I did. I'm willing to be wrong. It's your loss. Alright.
Alright.
So, we're trying to do a podcast. How's this going to work? I don't know. We're doing a podcast.
Yeah, our roommates have been saying that we should do a podcast for quite a while, and it started out with a rating system of who out of 10 people, with 2 being the people starting the podcast,
Yes.
would be the best 2 to start a podcast.
And we got voted the best too. And instead of just being like, ah ha ha, we're like, okay, we'll do it. So here we are. Is it going to end up being good? If not, we can blame the other 8 of them who voted us all together.
Yeah, that's a them problem.
Yeah, so if this is bad, everyone else is at fault except us. Essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole world, really. They let us to go up to this. So if you're not having fun while watching this or listening in, that's a personal problem. So, how do we describe the topic of our first podcast here today?
The topic is dog breeds.
Okay, so obviously, we all think dogs are great. That is not a question that is up for debate right now. But some dogs are better than others. And one way that they often like to show this off in society is dog shows. Now, I personally think dog shows should just be the cutest dog wins. I don't really care about too much else. I think you have a different opinion on that.
I do. I think cute is a relative term. And while I'm not super into the hardcore training of animals, I just think that some dogs deserve the title. And apparently, BenG doesn't think the dog who ended up winning the 2021 Purina Dog Show over Thanksgiving deserves that title, which I disagree with.
This fight over Claire has been ongoing since that time. For reference, it is February 2022, so like 5 months of rigorous debate where once a week we'll just get into it, getting mad about if Claire should have won or not. I will admit, I never watched the dog show. I just saw Claire, I'm like, not cute enough. And that was my opinion on it.
And I think everyone disagrees because Claire has won twice in a row and has been the first dog to win the Purina Dog Show 2 years in a row.
I would have been okay if Claire won once. Honestly, the fact that she won twice is the part that bugs me. If you're watching on, like, a video version of this stream, let me quickly show you an example of Claire's breeds. Claire is a Scottish Deerhound. This is the first one we got up here. I'm realizing that having a visually themed podcast is potentially a really dumb idea, but whatever.
Yeah, our first episode was going to be something special because the first time we actually we're going to make a podcast was over this argument. And now that I think of it, this isn't even settling the score.
No, this is really just having an argument. Like, we don't get a definitive answer here. We're just going to be mad. See, when I see this Scottish Deerhound, I just think to myself, you know what? Kind of ugly, though. Probably still fun, cute in the right hands, but not a dog show winner.
You know, and I think now that we're getting more progressive as a society, we should start integrating longer and bigger noses into what's considered cute. I'm not saying they're not considered cute already, as you can see. Podcast listeners, you can't. But it's just the definition of a button nose of cute. Like, sometimes I see a Shih Tzu, and it's not like I think it's not cute, but the Scottish Deerhound is so refreshing.
I don't think I'm personally a fan of these shaggy type dogs where they just got these long strands of hair curled up on them to not be finely matted, or I feel like petting a Scottish Deerhound wouldn't be that satisfying smoothness that you get on some other breeds. And then their eyes will be covered by their own hair, and they have those beards that get dirty because they'll be digging through the mud, which all of those aspects are a little bit adorable, but in the grand scheme of things, I feel like kind of downgraded in the general sense.
I see what you're saying, and I have to say that I think your points are incredibly invalid.
That is a take on it. Alright, I think we should move on to the first one. That this PowerPoint that we're seeing in front of us is presenting us a bunch of dog breeds that we have not seen. We probably have seen them before in real life, some of them at least, but we have not been privy to this slideshow before. It was made by my girlfriend Kelsey, our tech for the stream and for the whole podcast in general, so shout outs to her.
Shout out to Kelsey.
So the first breed that we're going to be debating, other than, of course, the Scottish Deerhound, Claire, which obviously we know is not cute.
Let's not talk about it.
The first one is the German Shepherd.
Oh.
I like German Shepherds. They may be too big, but that's like a separate issue because they're just very adorable. They're very cute. I'll admit this. I'm a fan of German Shepherds.
You think size matters when it comes to a dog?
I do. When they are as big as humans, which some German Shepherds are basically humans in terms of size.
I love massive dogs.
It's just having a dog that big becomes like a threat to yourself if they're a little rough, they're a little rowdy, they're little... If they play hard, it's entirely possible that they're going to end up hurting someone, and that's something you got to be careful for. But a well-obedient dog, which we would expect at a dog show, I would be fine if a German Shepherd won a dog show.
All right, I think we should look at this dog like we are judges in a dog show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to realize I really didn't do my research. And I didn't pay too much attention to the
I don't know what dog shows do, but in my criteria are the face. A face of a German Shepherd, pretty cute, pretty iconic dog figure. German Shepherds, I believe, appear the most out of any dog type, dog breed in cinema. I feel like that's a fact I learned at one point. Someone fact check me on that if they want. If I'm wrong, well, I got you to do research, so whatever.
It has a long face.
It has a long face, but I think the long face suits its large body in a way that it didn't work for the Claire dog. I already forgot the name of the breed.
Scottish Deerhound.
The Scottish Deerhound. The German Shepherd just is iconic to me.
I think its fur is a little
Too fine?
Too short for long hair, but too long for a more short hair dog. It kind of sticks out.
I personally enjoy petting a German Shepherd, so that's going to be my opinion on the matter.
Their mouths are terrifying.
They are potentially too big, but I'm going to let that slide because I do like me a German Shepherd.
All right.
The Bulldog. A classic. There's many different types of Bulldogs, but the one that we got on screen here, I don't know the differences between Bulldogs, I'll be real.
One of those real inbred ones.
Got a nice mushed face on it. I feel like Bulldogs are the talking animal of animal movies. Like I was just saying, German Shepherds are classic in cinema, but if the dog talks, it's either a golden retriever or a Bulldog.
That's true. I can definitely imagine
and they're always the dumb character. The Bulldog, they're kind of like the dumb jocks of the dog breed world. That's how I envision them. They think they're all rough and tough. I was about to say the Bulldog is the himbo of dogs, but I feel like that is a potentially scared thing to say.
could see dogs being a himbo. Alright,
What just...
we lost the Bulldog.
That was weird. Oh, I think that means it's time to move on. I don't know what just happened on my screen there. I wonder if that got captured by the video.
It didn't look like it did.
Weird.
Alright, Doberman. Also long-nosed.
More of a fan of a German Shepherd to a Doberman. Doberman's similar, but I feel like German Shepherd does what the Doberman don't. That makes sense. I feel like in a head-to-head contest, the German Shepherd wins in every category. It's got a cuter face. It's got more pettable fur. It's got better ears, better snout, better tongue in general.
I like how geometric the Doberman is compared to the German Shepherd.
Interesting. So you prefer the Doberman to the German Shepherd?
I think so. I don't want to say anything controversial, but anyone owning a German Shepherd or anyone owning a Doberman, I feel like I'd have an automatic distrust of. Just because if I saw someone say sick 'em to me while there was a bunch of Doberman or German Shepherds behind them, I wouldn't feel like I'd be safe.
Well, I think that's part of the point, what I was saying earlier, where the Doberman has a problem too, where I think it's too big. The big dogs are scary, and scariness takes away from cuteness, and I believe that all that we're trying to do here is figure out who's cutest. So, I think you just argued yourself into my point. I think that is a victory for me.
I think we should go back to the start of the podcast where we're saying we're trying to figure out which dog is the cutest.
Yeah?
Is that the argument here?
I don't know. What are we doing here? We're just talking. Maybe someone's listening. That's the hope. Hey, if you're listening, shout out to you. Good job.
I just think there's so much more to a dog than is it cute.
Well, I don't know what else we can gauge. What factors do you think are important to a dog?
Okay. Well, could we possibly go back to Claire? I guess this isn't actually Claire.
This is not the actual Claire. This is a standard Scottish Deerhound. They didn't want to compare royalty to the rest of these stock images.
Very fair. That's a dog where if you were to hug her, she would rest her head on your shoulder.
Okay. I can see your argument on that. My argument would be the rest on the arm wouldn't feel that comfortable because of the uneven hair. Like, it's obviously adorable to rest, but I think there are dogs that do it better.
That's fine.
I think that gets our discussion about the Doberman. Okay.
He's pretty sleek. He looks clean.
He does look clean. This Doberman's cuter than I feel like I normally see a Doberman, but maybe I'm just a sucker for all dogs, if I'm being real.
Except Claire.
Except Claire. Not going to say fuck Claire, but fuck Claire.
I knew you were going to say fuck Claire.
I didn't say it. I said I'm not going to say it, and then I said it.
Alright, next dog.
The Pomeranian. I don't really care that much about Pomeranians. They're too fluffy for their own good. Like, that face is absolutely adorable, but also shit's going down. I feel like a yapper, and I don't really care for yappers.
That fur is so soft. This is exactly what you were saying you don't like about Claire.
I think too much fur right there. The Pomeranian has too much fur, trying to pat it down, get it all tied up, and then it just doesn't work for me. And Pomeranians, I feel like, have a stereotype of being misbehaved. Maybe that's just me with all the ones that I've experienced before, but you see them and they're just going to be yapping at you or being put in a purse and then yapping.
I mean, I would be really loud if anyone tried to put me in a confined space, as all my professors can agree with that. With the Pomeranian, I think it gets a bad rep. I think yippy dogs get bad reps.
I can hear that argument, because the yippy dogs are cute, but I'm a person who I will get annoyed by the yippy.
It's like someone who raises, like, their sneeze an octave higher than everyone else's. They do that because they're insecure.
I'm just not as extroverted as the Pomeranian. I think that's my problem. They want to talk all the time, and I'm not a talker as much. That's why I started a podcast.
I see. Alright, we can move on to the next dog.
Bull Terrier.
The target dog.
Yeah. Okay, Bull Terrier gets up so many points because Bullseye, the target dog, is cute.
You think Bullseye is cute and Claire isn't?
I'm a loyal Minnesotan. I'm not allowed to say that Bullseye, the target dog's not cute, lest I have to give up my Minnesota card.
See, that is a shape. Right there.
Yeah. I wonder if this is the image that we have here is the Bullseye dog, because I feel like it is just Bullseye's not naturally red, you know? And that's around the eye color that I would expect. But maybe I don't know anything.
I mean, if there wasn't the preconceived ideal Bullseye,
then I don't think I'd like Bull Terriers that
I
much.
don't think you'd like them.
I think their nose is too long for such a short dog, especially. They make more sense with the bigger dogs that you have a longer nose. Bull Terriers are small dogs, and they have this just horse-like mouth, you know? Their whole head is just sticking out, right out of their skull.
I feel like if I, just gently poked their eyeball, it would fall straight into their head.
That is a great point. Bull Terriers are kind of terrifying the closer you look at them. You're kind of making me feel like, you know what? I don't like Bull Terriers that much.
Oh, I love them.
Is that why you love them? The fact that their eyeballs feel like they're disconnected from everything else.
Did you ever have those clear balls as a kid where it was a maze on the inside and there was a little ball?
The Perplexus balls.
Is that what those were called?
I believe so.
I feel like I could do that with a Bull Terrier.
That is very descriptive in ways I'm not sure I'm a fan of.
I would just shake him around.
I'm going to get away from the Bull Terrier quickly. Sarabi dog. I don't know if... Okay, I think I've seen a Sarabi dog before. Interesting. I think that Sarabi looks cute to me.
Oh, I love the one in the back that looks all scrungled. He just took a shit.
Scratching his front leg. I love when dogs scratch their legs.
Oh.
Like, Rose, my golden retriever, the icon of my stream, she will always be, running after a ball, stop in the middle of everything to scratch herself for, 10 seconds, and then run like nothing stopped. It's just adorable.
That's adorable.
Back to Sarabi, though. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
I don't think I've ever heard of this breed.
I think I've seen it before, but I don't think I've heard of it either.
I think I've seen, kind of the spacing of its face and mutts.
Mm-hmm.
That looks familiar to me.
I like the short face. I like the fur length. It feels very petable to the point where you could give it a really good belly rub. It will roll over and maybe howl at you like a little husky and go rawr, rawr, and that would be very cute.
I think Claire would do that. I bet she does that. I bet when she gets home after a long day of just being the most beautiful dog out there, she goes home, pours herself a scotch on the rocks.
First off, I don't think dogs are supposed to drink alcohol, but Claire can go off. That's fine. Do you think the dogs are stressed out after a day of work and doing a dog show? Or do you think they act like this is normal life? Like, how much energy do show dogs have?
I mean, they're conditioned to be energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I never really thought about this. I just know when I used to bring my Nintendogs to the dog show, and my little Apple, she was a little Yorkie Terrier, I ended up deleting her. Fun fact, when you delete Nintendogs, they, whine. And beg.
That's so mean. That is
so you don't
so
delete
mean.
Them.
Imagine, buying someone else's copy of the game, and, you're doing that, you're like, I want my own dog. And then you have to delete them. And then you're just, guilt-tripped into keeping these dogs that you didn't raise yourself. Nintendogs is brutal. Why is that game not rated M for mature?
You're right. There's a lot of reasons it should be. But back to this dog. I think the length of... It's not the length, the height of its mouth. And I know this one's is open, but you can tell that has jowls? Kind of, would that be how you describe that?
I don't know if that is the correct word, but I think it describes exactly what you're trying to say.
It's like Yogi Bear.
I feel like that's where we have to leave that. Don't let anyone think about that any longer.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Alright. I just know so many great Shih Tzus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're cute.
Yeah, I don't think Shih Tzus are that cute either. I feel like you can have an okay Shih Tzu, and that's about it.
I think their personality shines through, though.
I do think every Shih Tzu I met has had a good personality for being a dog. I just think they're kind of ugly.
I wouldn't go to ugly, but I wouldn't go like, oh, this dog is so cute.
My eyes don't light up when I see someone else walking their Shih Tzu.
Oh, my eyes light up. I think, oh, look at that little dog go with its little beard and, like, it has the, what is it, thick fur around the paws, too, so it looks really soft, and it's just like...
It is. The Shih Tzu is very royal. Plus, it gets a bonus for letting you say the word shit a lot, and then just say zoo after, and just pretend like it was all the whole thing. Like, getting through the censorship filters. If you had a Shih Tzu as a kid, think about all the times you get to say shit without any consequences. I'm saying this under assumption. I don't know if that actually works.
Man, the Packers are so shit, zoo.
That is exactly. Greyhounds.
Oh, I love them. That is also a shape, but not the Bull Terrier's shape.
Greyhounds, like, is Greyhound racing still a thing?
Yeah, you can rescue dogs from Greyhound racing.
It's kind of fucked up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a little.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I feel bad that Greyhounds were meticulously bred to be good at running. And I feel like that is to their detriment. I think Greyhounds are decently cute. But I feel like they could be a lot better if they didn't go through generational trauma of being bred to be the fastest. They got too aerodynamic.
I don't think we should take away points for the Greyhound for having generational trauma.
Well, I don't know how else I take those points away, and I'm definitely feeling like it's not that cute.
Its neck is too long that if you were to hug it, it would have trouble placing its head on your shoulder unless you positioned yourself, so you're hugging the upper part of the head, which wouldn't be feeling very good. However, I love the shape. I love the colors in this one. It's almost like a tortoiseshell.
Greyhounds have a lot of different colors, I feel like, from my experience with them. Just different shades of, like, gray and brown, but it's a good vibe. The colors of Greyhounds is not their issue.
I love their noses. I love their weak little chins.
I just feel bad for them. And honestly, that might be more where the points are detracted. It's a personal problem. It's not necessarily the Greyhound's problem, but when I see them, I start to feel sad. And I don't know if it's necessarily their shape, their story, or what it is about them, but I see a Greyhound and I start thinking to myself, aw. But not in like the cute, aw.
No.
The sad, aw. I'm glad we have a fancy microphone to be able to pick up the distinctions between that.
I do that when I see old people. They make me sad.
You're like, you're gonna die soon.
No, it's just... I just hope you can sleep at night, you know? Like, who knows what old people do in their free time? Who knows what they've done in their past? And I still feel bad for them. I could be looking at a total asshat on the bus and I'm like, oh, he's over 80. That's so sad.
You don't think like, oh, they've lived a wonderful life. You're like, oh man, being old must suck.
Yeah.
Everything hurts all the time.
I wonder who dislikes you.
Golden Doodle. Golden Doodles are overrated in terms of household possibility. I think making a shaggy Golden Retriever by mixing... The real benefit of the Golden Doodle, and the reason why I feel like I see a lot of people own a Golden Doodle, is it doesn't shed. But it's still got some of the personality traits of a Golden Retriever. From my experiences, I just don't think Golden Doodles are super cute. And I know people who own a Golden Doodle, so if they ever hear this, I might have to walk that back, but I'm letting the truth be out there.
You're taking away from its cuteness factor?
I don't think Golden Doodles are that cute. I think this one on the screen right now is pretty cute, but I feel like the average Golden Doodle isn't.
I know a Golden Doodle with anxiety. His name's Kip.
Kip?
He can hug well when he can sit still, but he can't really do that often due to his anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good boy. He's beautiful. They trim him way too short, but leave, like, the curls on top. So he looks like...
Give him, like, that ramen noodle haircut.
Yeah. Kind of like a freshman business student who thinks, oh, I'm going to make myself look a little funky, but not funky enough, because I still want to, like, make $1 billion when I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So when I see one with all the fur, I'm like, that's really cute.
Again, I think this golden doodle is this is one of the cutest golden doodles I've seen. I have a hard time saying there's a lot wrong with this dog. It feels like it would be great to pet, great to hug, just a great house pet in general. So I'm more speaking from personal experience. But if this golden doodle was there, if you showed me this golden doodle as a winner of a dog show, I'd be like, okay, I get it. I don't think the golden doodle is that great a breed, but this is like a top 1%er of golden doodles to me.
I think they're cute. I don't think they have the funk factor. I think Kip kind of gets the funk factor. I'm going to take what I said back. He's the golden doodle with anxiety.
Yeah.
I think he has the funk factor, and that makes up for his dumb haircut.
All right. So golden doodle we're a bit mixed on. It's interesting.
I need to think on this one more.
We may come back to it.
Oh yeah, we can move on.
The Shar-Pei. That is a face.
Of all the dogs to be named after a High School Musical character, I don't know why they chose this one.
I mean, if you take a look at them side by side, it's probably a splitting resemblance. They probably look exactly the same.
That's true. I haven't seen High School Musical in quite a while.
They're identical. As someone who has, they do not look the same. I feel, does the Shar-Pei breathe right? That face seems a bit smushed, and I'm worried about that. I feel like the Shar-Pei is like the fun uncle that you're like, we're going to have fun with him, but you only see him like once a year, so you don't get tired of him. If you saw him every day, I feel like the shtick gets old. And then you're like, you just have a smushed face. The appeal factor runs out.
I think if I had a Shar-Pei, I'd love it. I think I'd be like, this is my fucked up little meow meow. He's kind of weird.
So fucked up, it's a meow meow, not a woof woof.
He's a fucked up little woof woof. He's kind of weird, but I think I'd love him. I think I could take him for a walk to a coffee shop, and people would go, oh, look at that funky dog.
I do think
that's a funk factor.
Going on a walk with a Shar-Pei would be good because people will be like, you got a funky dog. But I feel like owning one, the appeal would dry out.
So you're basing your dog's appeal on it's like...
I don't think this would win a dog show either. I'll put that out there. I'm giving it as much credit as I can. I'm being nicer to it than I feel like it honestly deserves.
Are you saying if you were a judge, you wouldn't have it win, or you don't think any of them would win, ever?
It would need to be a cuter one than the one on the photo to win. And I feel like it would have to be an off year for it to win.
Regardless of how it behaves, what if it can, like, juggle?
Okay, if it can juggle, obviously a dog juggling is worth $1 million by itself. If I was a celebrity judge on America's Got Talent, because this podcast blew up, and then there was a Shar-Pei that juggled, I'll hit the golden buzzer. I'm going to give it straight to wherever it goes. I don't watch the show anymore. Wherever they do the live shows nowadays.
Okay, say that it walked on a seesaw really meticulously, compared to everyone else. Like, say that there's a dog who looked like Rose in her golden years.
Okay, well, Rose is going to win regardless.
But...
Rose could just go sit up on a stage, and I would hit the golden buzzer for her.
She just biffed it on every single thing.
Okay,
and it's not Rose. It looks just like Rose.
Okay, I was going to say, because Rose doesn't fuck up anything. You gotta... Rose is perfect in every way, and I will not hear any Rose slander. But if it's a dog that looks exactly like Rose, I might still pick the Rose lookalike over a Shar-Pei. But I think there is a theoretical scenario where the Shar-Pei could win a dog show. It just needs to be a lot of everyone else fucked up. Because it does have an appeal to it. It's just not a lot.
Do you think it could win its category?
I would need to see the other ones in this category, and it can theoretically win. It just needs a bad year from others, and I think that is consistent across everything else.
All right.
The Shiba Inu, the Doge,
The
meme dog. They're cute.
I don't like this photo that much.
No, I think this photo might be understating the fun factor of a Shiba Inu. This is where we can start blaming Kelsey. She gave us a bad photo.
Well...
Or maybe she just has unrelenting hatred towards Shiba Inu, and this was the ugliest photo she can find.
It's not even ugly. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's just the...
It's not ugly, you're right.
3/4 profile, its other eye looks a little squished. And that's an issue with the Shiba Inus. Theirs are pretty squished.
Yeah. I think they got a good snout length for their body. I think their hair is at a good length where it's going to be fun to pet, but in a way that I don't think a lot of the other dogs that I enjoy are fun. It's more of like the husky pet. They're obviously a meme, and I feel like they just would be fun to be around.
I think if I was designing a dog with all the aspects of a Shiba Inu, I would make it better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would be your master plan?
Its head is like a cone. Do you see it?
Yeah. I feel like there's not too much of a slant towards it. I think it's more angular, but I get that. Do you want it to be a cone?
No, I think I would make it more shapely. Like, I think it has the funk of a shapely dog, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I could see, like, with a Shiba Inu, when I see its, like, body type, I don't see Shiba Inu. I see dog.
That's
with
fair.
A curly tail.
That is fair. The Shiba Inu, I feel like the face doesn't necessarily match the body, but I like that uniqueness of it.
I feel like a lot of people buy them because they're super cute, and that kind of makes me sad. I think people should buy dogs for their personality.
I don't think I've ever met a Shiba Inu in person, but from what I can tell, I think they have a very fun personality.
I have multiple friends who have fun personalities, but I knew if I were to get another friend group, there would be one exactly like him. Doesn't mean it's not fun.
You're saying it's basic?
It's kind of basic.
Okay. You know what? Shiba Inu's a kind of basic dog, which is wild because I don't feel like they're a theoretically that common dog. But I can understand that argument.
I bet there's a bunch in New York.
I mean, there's a bunch of everything in New York.
I bet there's not a bunch of Claires in New York.
There's a bunch of people named Claire and dogs named Claire.
Okay. I don't think there would be a lot of Scottish Deerhounds in New York because they'd be like, hey, look at that dog.
It's ugly. I don't want it.
I don't hug things because I'm a tough New Yorker. My kids don't call me on Thanksgiving anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like...
Because they're watching the dog show.
Because you're not buying a fucking Scottish Deerhound because you think they're ugly.
Well, they're kind of ugly, so...
Okay.
Is that what you imagine I'll be like?
Yeah. You're going to be like, my kid doesn't look like Rose? Toss it out.
Yeah, I'll just eat the baby into the trash can.
Get this guy out of here.
You don't like Great Danes?
Okay, no. Let's talk about your kid.
Oh.
Who's this man? Great Danes.
They're too big.
Oh, I love their size.
They are the dog to me that are just factually too big. They are taller than humans when you, like, stand them up.
And that's perfectly fine.
Like, I can understand why that's fine for some people. To me, too much.
Is it because you're not used to things being taller than you?
I am used to some people being taller than me. I'm used to... I think just in general, the Great Dane's too big. I don't think it's a height issue. I don't think I've got height superiority on the mind. I
love the ears.
The ears are great. I don't really care for the droopy face that much. I feel like the fur is potentially not petable enough. The Great Dane's low tier.
Low tier?
Low tier.
It has great in the name, BenG.
Well, yeah, obviously a tiered list of dogs, great's going to be one of the lower tiers.
Okay. I guess I can't argue with that, but I'm still going to argue with your placement of the Great Dane. I think the ears are fantastic.
Maybe in a future one of these, we'll have to actually tier list these.
Yeah, we'll divide.
We'll have to make 2 separate tier lists because I know we're not going to be able to agree on this.
No, there's going to be no agreement here. I had a really good point. I'm trying to remember. I think the long face like balances out. I don't pet dogs because they're soft.
No?
I don't pet them.
I pet dogs so they deserve it.
Yes.
Great Danes demand pets by tackling you.
Have you seen a Great Dane tackle someone?
I think so.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Honestly, a Great Dane could tackle me. I'd still love him.
Yeah, I just think they could also break a few bones in the process because they're too big. If they, like, jump around you and then miss and stand on you, congrats, you broke a rib.
As someone who has broken 2 ribs, though, worth it. Great Danes, worth breaking 2 ribs.
That is the... I can live with that stance. That is the official stance of this podcast for you. If we stand for anything, it's that Great Danes are worth breaking your ribs for.
If I think anything we create on this podcast is worth breaking my ribs for, then it's a good podcast.
Alright. Dashin.
Is that Schnitzel?
That is Schnitzel. That is Kelsey's family's Dashin.
Dachshund.
Dachshund?
Dachshund.
Dashhound?
Wiener dog. That's how it's pronounced.
Wiener Schnitzel?
Wiener Schnitz. That's where the name comes from,
I
I presume.
Okay, good. Glad we got that confirmed. Did you know English for schnitzel is English, yet Duolingo still teaches you the word schnitzel?
Nice. That means it's a free word.
English... I messed that up. Okay. So, English...
German for schnitzel is...
German for schnitzel is schnitzel.
Yeah.
English for schnitzel
It's schnitzel.
is schnitzel. It's just... There's a capital S in the German one. And that's one of the first words they teach you.
Well, they want to ease you into it. I remember once... I can't remember who, but someone in my family had a Rosetta Stone program for Spanish, and the very first word they teach you before anything else was milk. And I felt like that's just an odd choice for the first word to learn. You don't learn, like, yes or no.
Milk.
You learn milk.
Though I think in a lot of language programs, it's like, this is how to teach you to tell people what you want.
Yeah. And maybe you just need to tell everyone you need milk in Spain or majority of South America. Okay, so wiener dogs. They can be cute.
I think they're really cute. I think I'm biased because I had a Webkins that was a wiener dog.
That would bias
And
you.
it was a perfect shape for a stuffed animal. It was firm.
If we're talking about, like, stuffed animal dog rankings, wiener dog might be up there. That might be number 1.
Really? Did you have one?
No.
You just think about it?
I'm just thinking about it like it's very stuffed animal shaped.
It is.
You could hug a stuffed animal wiener dog more so than you can hug a real one.
Oh, I think you could hug a real... I hugged Schnitzel.
I just feel like it might be too tight of a hug. You know? That's where wiener dogs might be too small to be full hug worthy.
Long-haired wiener dogs. I didn't know that was a thing until I met Schnitzel. And this was, I don't know if we're allowed to tell this story, but this was before they, trimmed her. So it looked like she was just a little mop, like, sliding along the ground. You know those slippers that, when you wear them, you clean the ground?
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. And I think that was truly fantastic.
The one thing I will say against wiener dogs, and I've got to bite my tongue to make sure I don't offend my girlfriend, they are yappers, and yappers still get a negative penalty to me.
If I may interject, you guys talking about personality, their personalities are kind of shit.
I was gonna say, what is a dachshund's personality?
They go very hard for everything, and they're really hard to train, and they're very feisty. Like, they don't back down, because they were bred to hunt badgers.
They're feisty?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be boosting my... I was more worried about them not having a personality, to be honest. Because I think about it, I think of Slinky from Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
That's his
Well,
that's his
isn't
name?
he a beagle?
No, he has a long body. He's a wiener dog.
He's not a beagle.
He doesn't look like a wiener dog.
He doesn't look like
though.
Snoopy.
Yes, he looks like a wiener dog.
He looks like a non-schnitzel wiener dog.
Okay, maybe that's fair. Maybe I'm letting the picture bias me right now. There's other types of wiener dogs. But yeah, their personality is not necessarily great.
Man, I think their personality's great if they're feisty. I think, Black Beauty? I want to be able to go into a field and just get, like, the shit kicked out of me by a Mustang. If I go into, like, a field and it's, like, just a fucking cow sitting there, like, eating, I'm like, good for you. But what does this do for me? I'm not getting any character arc by training you. Then why is it worth to train them?
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to move on. The American Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh, they look like pit bulls.
They do look a bit like pit bulls. Now, first off, jumping the gun, there might be pit bulls on here. I actually like pit bulls.
I do
Which is
like
kind
pit
of
bulls.
weird to where everything else that I've been saying, I feel like that's a hypocritical moment. But we'll get to that if pit bulls are in this. Or maybe that's a future debate topic. This terrier, I gotta say, is pretty cute. I like the round face. They do look a little sad, but they also look stoic and muscular.
I love when things look sad.
You do. That is a personality trait of yours.
You know, if you are stoic and you are muscular, yet you can still, like, have mournful eyes, that's the whole
It tells
range.
a story. This American Staffordshire Terrier has seen shit and is just waiting for a tell-all novella to be able to tell everyone all of the shit it's seen.
He has the range.
Yeah. There is emotion behind those eyes, and that's not always true for dogs. Some dogs, there's nothing going on at all.
Oh, 100%.
It's just all yip, no story.
All yip, no yep.
Exactly.
I think I'd be uncomfortable touching the front of his body.
Belly rubs wouldn't be that fun.
It's so, like,
Close to skin.
yeah, I think,
Yeah.
like,
I think that is a downside. I feel like the American Staffordshire Terrier, yeah. I think its best role in society is being the stray dog in a movie. The one that you care about and you're, like, feeling bad for the whole time. Because it's very good at expressing emotions, I feel. But I'm not sure it's one I want in my home.
I think if I were to end up with one, I'd love it.
That's true. I think there's potential there. There's a wide range. I also feel like there could be ones that are just utter assholes.
Oh, 100%.
And, like, that's true for all dogs, but especially true here.
Yeah, I could see it.
The Afghan Hound.
I'm biased because it reminds me of my stepmom.
It,
That's what her hair looks like.
I'm biased because it reminds me of a 70s band.
Ooh, what's her name?
No, this is just the Bee Gees to me.
What's Janice from the Muppets?
Yeah, pretty much exactly. If Janice from the Muppets was a dog, I don't know what... Is Janice from the Muppets human Muppet? I don't know if they're a specific animal. They might not be.
I don't think she is. She has no, like, animal traits.
Okay, the Afghan Hound to me is a one-hit wonder where you see it, you laugh, you go, haha, I wouldn't want to own one. Absolutely not. I feel like there's not... The joke is there good once, but that's a lot of hair that you're going to have to manage around the whole time. The face isn't cute. It's just long hair, and that's it.
You don't think the face is cute? Shout out to Kelsey dying in the background.
I think Kelsey is actually allergic to Afghan Hound, so we probably should wrap this one up quickly.
Okay. If we're going to wrap it up, I'm only going to say one more thing on the topic. You're wrong. All right, we can
You're allowed
go
to
forward.
express your opinion if you want.
No, I just...
Kelsey is dying, though, so...
Sorry,
All right.
I drank liquid and it went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, no.
This is a note to self. Don't ever drink while you're doing this.
Let's take a little water break while we're saying don't drink.
Well, I cough a lot. We can cut that out.
Yeah. Except for all the people that are watching on the live stream.
Oh, yes. One of which is Kelsey. Alright, we can move on. It's fine. You obviously want to move on.
No? I feel like I would like to hear you try and say the Afghan Hound is cute, but I don't think it's possible.
It kind of looks like Merc.
That's not going to mean much for 10% of our viewers.
For 50% of our viewers. We have 2 right now. I have a beautiful cat.
Mm-hmm.
He has kind of long hair, and he has the same colors as the Afghan Hound. He's a Turkish fan, or we think. And I think this kind of looks like that.
So that's your bias?
That's my bias. Also, I think the face is fantastic.
Too long.
Look at the eyes.
The eyes are good. I will say that.
Eyes.
The eyes are good. The eyes also fit with the hair, where it's just the rest of it. It's too much.
What's her name? Chelsea Peretti? Am I getting it mixed up from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
That's the Gina from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Gina. I think she kind of looks like an Afghan Hound, and I think she's beautiful. Alright. Ooh!
I've never seen a Papillion before.
Ooh.
Those ears are too much for me. They're fantastic, but at the same time, they're too much, especially when the face looks like that.
I think it looks like a butterfly. Its head is a beautiful butterfly.
The face is too derpy to match with the royalty of the rest of
You
the
think
body.
the face is derpy?
Are you telling me that face is not derpy?
I think you're just biased against small dogs.
Maybe I am. I don't really like a lot of small dogs.
Yeah, it seems like you don't like a lot of things that are very good in this world. Like Claire.
Claire's a big dog.
She's a big girl. I love her.
What's
Anyways.
your thought on the Papillion?
I like it. Papillon? I don't know what it is.
We don't know pronunciations.
Yeah.
If we got it wrong, try and sue us. You're not going to win the lawsuit.
I think I've pronounced 4 dogs wrong so far.
I've not been keeping track.
Any dog that smiles is kind of scary to me because it's like, what do you know?
Yeah, dogs shouldn't be able to smile. You should be able to just tell when they're happy by wagging their tail, and that's it. That's the emotion read.
Okay, I'm gonna take back what I said. I like when dogs can tell us their emotions without just wagging a tail. I think we should.
Okay, that's...
I'm just nitpicking you because I want to win.
Emotional output from a dog is a valuable tool. I agree. A natural smile is just kind of awkward on a dog. Their emotion storytelling isn't just from wagging a tail. It's often like head movements or how their eyes look, but their mouth shouldn't be telling the emotion.
And you know when dogs move their eyes and then you can just see a little bit of the whites of the eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I think this dog would have a good eye white moment. Like, you're at a party and then the uncle you see once a year that you love but can't take too much of. What was that? What was that?
Let me
Is that
go
the-
back to it. The Shar-Pei.
The Shar-Pei. Say Uncle Shar-Pei is there and he starts saying shit. Like, maybe he brings up a memory that you know your dad is sensitive about, and he brings up as a joke, and you see your dad go a little like, and you don't know what's going to happen. And I think at that exact moment, you could, like, look over to this dog, and they'll do the eye white thing. And then you can do it back. And that's a spiritually bonding moment.
Just like, you see this shit going on? I don't want to.
Did he really just say that? I think I could talk shit with this dog.
Okay, this dog could probably talk some mad shit. I will give you that credit.
We could hide out in the bathroom and say, "Did you hear that?" And it'd be great.
Problem is, I feel like the Papillion might be too fancy to talk shit, but it definitely talks shit. It just might think of me as too low class to talk shit with. I'm the target. I'm not necessarily the one that gets to talk shit.
I could see where that'd be an issue.
But that might be a personal problem.
Yeah, don't project your insecurities onto this dog. He's just a good little boy.
Oh, the Bernese Mountain Dog. This is how you do a fluffy dog, to me. They're big, they're lovable. I just imagine them going and giving people big hugs. You wrap your arms all the way around them.
It's kind of like a Saint Bernard knockoff.
Yeah. Was Bernese Mountain Dog? I mean, what's the difference between Bernese and Bernard?
Because a Saint Bernard sits at the top of the driveway? Don't you listen to Lincoln, BenG?
I do not.
Real fans would get it.
I'm not a real fan of the podcast, unfortunately.
Droopy eyes are kind of I don't know. I feel like if what's his name? Who's the big purple guy from the
Barney?
No, McDonald's.
Grimace?
Grimace. Did you know Grimace is a taste bud?
No, I don't want to know that.
I think that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think I wanted to know that.
I think the story is one manager who was a really good manager got this special interview at some point, and they asked him what's Grimace, and he just went off the rails and said, "Oh, he's a taste bud." And McDonald's didn't want to say, "Oh, this is our great manager, he's done wrong." I feel like that could somehow be applied to the Bernese Mountain Dog.
I think the Bernese Mountain Dog is just really cute, and I feel like it would be very friendly and be a good dog to just hug. Very huggable. You can't argue with me about this huggable point.
He's pretty huggable, but I feel like overall cuddles, he might get too hot.
That's fair. He's not a cuddle dog, he's a hug dog. You give him a hug, and then you just pet him from a distance.
He wouldn't rest his head on your shoulder. He'd go down. He'd be one of those dogs who go down when, you know, like, and that's not a great thing.
The Bichon Frise.
Oh, look at that.
That is stylized to be just... Imagine if an afro was a dog. That's this dog. It's too much.
It has a small nose. It looks petable.
If the Afghan Hound was the 70s, this is the 80s, where everyone's just in, like, their workout garb with their, like... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All their, like, stockings that are fluffy.
Someone... the leg warmers?
Yeah, leg warmers. That's the words for it.
It does look like it's wearing leg warmers.
This is the leg warmers dog, and they have a gimmick. I can see how someone might like them. They're not for me.
I think it's charming. I think if I had one, I'd love it.
I mean, I hope you would love any dog that you would own.
I think I would.
I think I would too.
You sure about that?
No.
Because the shit you've been talking about, the Scottish Deerhound.
Well, maybe I would be owning a Scottish Deerhound. Do you want me to own a Scottish Deerhound?
What if you were living out in the country and this guy was out, like, partridge hunting? Or I guess deer hunting. It's a Deerhound. And instead of shooting the deer, he shoots a dog. And it gets hurt, and it limps into your backyard, and he goes, "Well, that's not going to be carrying me any, like, deer from now on, so I'm going to leave it there to die." And then you
Why
find it.
are you making up this story? This is so sad.
No, it's okay. And then you find it, and you nurse it back to health. Do you think you're going to pawn it off on some Scottish Deerhound lover, or do you think that the, like, bond you formed with this dog...
Well, here's the thing. This theoretical dog that I'm already, like,
Don't
getting
cry
emotional
about-
for
I'm sorry.
is not Claire.
How do you know?
Claire didn't limp into my backyard. If Claire limps into my backyard, I'll probably get emotionally attached to Claire. But this also implies that Claire's owners are bad. So think about that before you go further with this hypothetical.
Purina Dog Show 2022. Claire's fame has reached its height. Everyone's wondering how she's going to do. You don't want to return as a champion and not win again. You know?
Well,
And-
every single person did it, lost again until Claire. So I feel like she's already escaped the majority of the pressure.
But maybe the pressure is more. Maybe her owners are, what are they? They have megalomania and they're like, "I'm God, so is my dog." And then she doesn't win. And they take her out back and they shoot her, but they miss. And it's in the leg. And she limps into your
If
backyard.
this exact scenario happens, I'm giving Claire to you.
Oh,
I will nurse Claire back to health to the point where I can give it, but I feel like you need to have this moment.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
The Boston Terrier is a classic. I don't know if it's necessarily great, but it's classic.
See, I can't name a Boston Terrier. Like, it's classic for what?
I just feel like it's a classic type of dog. if I think to myself, imagine a dog, a Boston Terrier is in my first 5.
Really?
Yeah. This is my mental image of dog. And for that, it's worth something.
I don't think I've ever met one. It's very cute. Very cute.
The eyes are well shaped and defined. It'll be able to tell emotions. The ears, they're good length. Maybe a quarter inch too long, but that's nitpicking.
That's just you.
Petable. They're nice. They're like a higher tier small dog, but at the same time, I don't know if there's anything too special about them. And that's probably that lack of specialness, maybe why they're part of my mental image of dog.
I feel like they're smart. I could see them being smart.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I killed someone and I needed a sensible friend who would not go all in for me, but would maybe stay on the phone and tell me what hypothetically they'd do, but they wouldn't do it because they're too good of a person, and then I just do what they say, I would trust the Boston Terrier.
Your Boston Terrier is the friend on the phone?
Yes.
I can live with that. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Sweet.
The American Cocker Spaniel. This is too shaggy.
Oh, the shagginess is what gets you.
Yeah. Like, this is too much of a shaggy carpet, you know? If it's lying down on the carpet, you're just going to step on it because you don't realize it's there. It blends right in.
Its back is smooth.
That is interesting about it. It's just entirely socks and pants, and then also ears. The ears are too long. I get droopy ears. That's how you do, like, hair in an animated movie for a dog. You give them the droopy ears and, like, there you go. But I think it's too much. I feel like that would also impact their hearing, potentially. Weighing them down.
I guess that's a good point. I'm not going to really argue on the cuteness of the dog, because I think its issues lie more in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I love its eyes, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's too much of a snout. Like, the snout's too prominent, and the droopiness goes around the snout. It doesn't really have a mouth, as much as it has a nose that has a mouth attached to it. And I think that doesn't do it well, especially for its size.
If I was an author, I feel like I'd have an American Cocker Spaniel.
I feel like generic animated girl dog is a Cocker Spaniel.
That's true. Yeah, they should work on bringing down gender norms more.
Yes,
I
give
think
me
that's
a
their problem.
male animated Cocker Spaniel. That is what society needs at this point in time.
I concur.
American Foxhound. That's
Oh.
pretty cute. That's pretty cute. It's the classic ear, the floppy ear. Not too droopy, but I feel like these guys could run for a while. Their legs might be too long for their body, but that's a whole different ratio. They've got a classic dog face.
I don't know if it's just the photo, but I feel like its eyes are, like...
Their eyes do feel weird in this photo, and I feel like it might just be the photo.
I think it might just be the photo. Yeah, it's a shape. I like the long legs.
Mm-hmm.
I like that its tail sticks out, and I can imagine it, like, falling back on its tail and doing, like, a tripod sort of situation, so its hands are free, maybe to, hound the foxes or whatever they do.
Who comes up with these names? Like, how do dog breeds get their names? I mean, I get where American comes from. Like, it probably was bred in America or developed or identified. But, like, for a foxhound, is it a hound because it's a dog and dogs are hounds? Or is hounds a specific type of dog? There's specific features. Is it a foxhound because it goes and catches foxes? Or someone go, like, it looks like a fox, even though it doesn't?
I think it would hunt foxes, right?
I would assume
It's
so.
like Fox and the Hound. They just stuck them together.
Is the dog in Fox and the Hound a foxhound?
No, it's a basset hound? No.
No.
That's a missed opportunity.
It's a
Bloodhound.
bloodhound.
Right.
Bloodhound. That sounds right.
I don't think I could tell the difference between a bloodhound and a basset hound.
I'll look it up real quick.
Thank you once again, Kelsey, on tech.
Okay.
Getting our quick Googles in for us.
All right. Anything more?
I got nothing more really
This
to
one's
say.
pretty low tier.
It's fun to hear you say that. I think I could agree with that. I feel like, though, it's just very standard. It's not high tier. It might be mid tier for me.
Okay.
He's a bloodhound / coonhound mix.
Coonhound.
Yeah.
What does coon mean?
Like raccoon.
Oh.
Is that...
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll take your word on it.
What?
I don't know how to pronounce this. You go for it. I've mispronounced all of these so far. It's your turn.
This is the dog in Coco. They call it the Mighty Cholo dog.
The Mighty Cholo. So that's a hint. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I definitely almost said a really bad swear word.
You want to say it at the same time?
Oh no. Did you take Spanish?
Yes. I haven't taken it since early high school because I hated it.
Valid. Okay, let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Cholo is Quigley.
Alright, we said it perfectly.
Okay. Just do a voice to text over.
I think it's too skinny. Like, not skinny as in size, but as in skin.
It's a worm.
Right?
That is a worm. I love its face. Oh, actually, the more I see it, the more it looks like a naked rat.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I still think it's got too much skin for me.
I love the indents in the chest.
I feel like the face could be really cute, but...
I've never seen Coco.
It's a good movie. You should watch it.
Probably should.
Watch it and get back to me. Do a video or do a podcast about your enjoyment of Coco, or if you hate it.
More dogs should have just skin. I think we should do another dog show where we just shave all the dogs completely and see which one you think is cute.
I
Right?
feel like that's a bad idea, but at the same time, I am morbidly curious about what all of these dogs look like without. This dog would look the same.
Love the tail. Absolutely love the tail.
I disagree. I feel like the tail feels awkward.
And that's okay.
I will not stand for this imperfection, if that makes sense. I don't know how many more of these dogs that we have to go through. I feel like we've been taking some time for these.
At least 3 more. That I can think of. Oh no, 4. I think.
We got 4 more?
We got 4 more. We can
All
get
right,
through
we can
this.
get through those 4. Because we do have to be off within 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
At least 5.
Whoa! I think you might have peeked the mic right there.
Oh, sorry. We'll take that out. Hate this dog.
You hate the Affenpinscher?
Monkey dog.
It is a monkey dog. This is like a monkey cosplaying as a dog.
It's awful. And you know why it's called the Affenpinscher? I looked it up. Affen is German for, I think, ape?
So it's literally
monkey dog.
just monkey dog.
I could be wrong.
The face does look like a monkey. I'm not going to defend the Affenpinscher. I could, because I think I have a higher opinion on it than you, but I'm not going to defend it. It's not worth defending.
Its ears. So minimal. My neighbor, I don't know if I should tell this story, had I thought it was an Affenpinscher, but it was a pug Shih Tzu mix.
Okay.
So it's just a shitty pug, and it looked it was black like this, and it looked exactly like that, and it was awful. It always attacked my dog, and then this is really bad. I don't know if I should say it. One day a guy hit it with his car, and he came to my door and said, I had a little black dog at the time, and said, I just hit a little black dog. And I thought it was my dog.
I mean, you would, of course you're going to assume that.
And it was very scary, and he survived. He actually survived.
Okay. That's good.
But he did get pretty injured, and there was a blood stain on the road for a week after. And
Yikes.
It was right outside my window, which my bed was next to, so I'd see it every night before I went to bed.
You're like, good night, bloodstain.
And I think that dog was an Affenpinscher. It had to be. It looked exactly like this.
Not fun.
This is my second least favorite dog.
Really?
Yes.
What's your least favorite?
Those mop dogs.
The ones that just look like a raggedy old mop? Oh, Corgis. Corgis are great. I love Corgis. That's my top tier small dog.
I'm not going to disagree. I love them. Their shape. Love the shape.
Mm-hmm.
However, society's weird obsession with their buttholes for a little bit in, like, was that 2016?
I vaguely remember this, yes.
I guess it wasn't their buttholes. I guess it was just the shape of their ass in general,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd always make the butthole a little heart.
Yep.
I
They
feel
make
like
their tail a heart.
Yeah, I feel like that's not very representative of how, like...
I just want to see a Corgi run around. It's going to be cute, and then it's going to come back to you, and it's going to nuzzle up to you, and you get to pet it. It's not really a hugging type dog, but that's not what it's there for, you know?
Yes.
The Corgi's there to be sassy, but in a fun, friendly way.
Ooh.
That's my opinion on it. Corgi's the girl next door of dogs. Don't ask me to explain, because I will not.
It doesn't...
That's really weird. Okay.
It's been happening. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I wouldn't say it has the, like, enticing nature of the girl next door. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. I don't think, like...
I'm
like,
enticed by a Corgi.
I don't think they're fun and sassy.
No, you disagree?
I think... I mean, I guess they could be sassy, but I don't think they'd be sassy in an enticing way. I think I'd just push them past their limits and they get tired at me.
I don't see the Corgi ever being angry at me. When I look at them, I trust those eyes immediately. They could lie straight to my face and I would buy every word of it. And I don't think they would lie.
They're beautiful eyes. I mean, it looks like a hawk, almost.
They're eyes that don't necessarily match the short frame, but I think that's why I like it so much. They tell a lot of emotions.
Yes, I would trust them.
I like me a Corgi. Australian Shepherd. Now that's a cute dog.
That's a really cute dog. Long nose.
Even though long nose, I feel like it's not abnormally, like, extended long. It fits the frame of the face. This one looks very, like, scared of the current situation, so I just want to go and comfort it right now.
Aww.
Fluffy, but not too fluffy, to the point where you could hug it real well. I love the coloring on it, the different spots, and...
Very unique, very fun.
Mm-hmm. Australian Shepherds are good.
I feel like it's a interesting coat, because in terms of evolution, like, it's obvious people bred this dog. Because where would you put this dog to camouflage?
Nowhere. It does. I mean,
I could see even just
it's
forest
cute,
in
though.
winter. It's really
cute.
I think I'd prefer Shelties to an Australian Shepherd.
Okay.
But that's just my personal preference.
I feel like an Australian Shepherd, I don't know their personality. That might be a big, like, no-no or a big reconfirmation. But from my understanding with an Australian Shepherd, they're very cute, and I feel like they would be fun to be around. And they're just going to be happy dogs most of the time. They're going to be happy to be there, happy to be with you, happy to be pet, happy to go run around and put your sheep in a pen. It's going to be good.
Yeah, they treat sheep well. That's a big plus.
Yeah. I feel like they're just like, okay, sheep, it's time to do your job, rather than saying, you got to go where I tell you to.
Yeah.
They're kind.
Respect the Australian Shepherd. I think they're one of the breeds I would choose. If I had it, I would definitely rescue. But if I had to get a dog, like from a breeder, I think I'd get an Australian Shepherd maybe. Okay. Okay. These...
The Commodore.
I was worried you weren't going to put these on here.
They're ugly.
Well...
They're the dreadlock dog.
I think dreadlocks can be done really well. Especially if your hair is made for it. I have nightmares about these.
Oh no.
I got attacked by one named Cabbage.
What?
His name was Cabbage. I was in my friend's basement playing Skyrim. He was playing Skyrim, and his dog was so violent that they had to keep it in another room when he had friends over. And they got another one, but a black one. Its name was Asparagus. But one time, Cabbage got out, and I was sitting on the floor in a room alone with this guy, and he was playing Skyrim, and I look over, and I see the door, and I just see the white head, like, peek out. And I don't know how it got away, because it still had its leash on. And I have nightmares about this, because he just, like, zeroes in on me, and goes in, like, screaming, and it gets, like, not even joking, 6 inches away from me, and they grab the leash and yank it. And saved my fucking life. I think it would have killed me.
That's terrifying.
So I wake up, like, I have dreams where this thing is in the door, and it lunges at me, and I wake up in a cold sweat. Which is funny, because I would give this dog a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for Cabbage. Cabbage,
really?
Yeah. It's funky, it's weird, it's awful, and I love that.
It's a gimmick dog that doesn't even land its gimmick in a fun way, I personally think. But I'm going to just say, as a heartfelt to you, last place.
Last place.
0
out of 100. Fuck this guy. F tier.
F tier.
And
I'm the dog here, that means okay.
Wolf tier.
The Golden Retriever. Golden Retriever's my favorite dog. I'm not going to lie. Golden Retrievers are great. You ever seen Air Bud?
I haven't seen Air Bud, but I've seen a lot of the Air Buddies.
Well, they're cute, aren't they?
Space Buddies? That was good.
I don't think any of the Buddies movies are necessarily good.
I love
I don't think
Rosebud.
a single Air Bud movie is actually good.
When Rosebud said girl power, I was like, yeah. There was one where it's like Money Buddies, where they
made so many of them, it's probably impossible to know. I'm surprised there isn't a streaming service that has all of them.
Yeah. Get on that, someone. Paramount Plus?
That seems like a Paramount Plus property.
Really?
That's a good call out.
Oh shit.
That feels like the vibe.
I tried to bring up the least relevant streaming service. No offense to Paramount Plus. I feel like I can't say very many bad things about Golden Retrievers, because the darling Rose, I have yet to meet her, and I think that's the worst thing about the Golden Retriever.
I'm surprised you haven't. She's come to the house a couple times.
There was this one time, it was really weird, where something was going on, and I couldn't go and see her, and I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to meet her soon.
I don't think I'd purposefully get a Golden Retriever.
I can live with that incorrect opinion. Like, the way you worded it, I'm not going to argue too much. This one in the picture is cute. Something I like about Golden Retrievers is I feel like they're all very different from each other. There's a lot of variety within Golden Retrievers. Not a ton. Don't look at me like that, Kelsey.
My uncle had a Golden Retriever named Rose that looked just like your Rose.
Well, the Rose doesn't look like this Golden Retriever. And I feel like there is mixtures between them.
I think Rose is pretty unique now that I'm looking at. There's photos of her on the wall. Like, I'm trying to think of all the I knew a Golden Retriever named Ruby. She looked a lot like Rose, but still very different.
Yeah.
Same coloring, our name, facial, like, similarities, but I could still tell the difference between the two of them.
Golden Retrievers are smart, they're happy, and they're cute.
See, the happiness is just false security to me.
I can understand that, but there's a reason, like, people get described as the Golden Retriever of humans or something like that. I feel like you don't hear that for other types of dogs.
I want to be the Bull Terrier of humans.
You think you're the Bull Terrier?
I want someone to look at me and think, I want to press in her eyeballs.
I think people might. I think our next one is the last one.
The last one.
So, this is for all the marbles. The Miniature Schnauzer.
Oh, Kelsey. Yes, 10 out of 10. Top tier. I had a Miniature Schnauzer. She was the runt of the litter. It was, her name was Petals. Not like flower petals. It was Pedals. Like the
Gas pedal.
Like the gas pedal. I was a little weirdo. She was bred for... She came from a family bred for dog shows, but she was the runt, so we got her for free as my mom's friend. And she was one of the meanest dogs out there. It was... We could never do anything about it. And she hated men.
Valid.
Very anti-men. And I loved her, and she left one night, got pregnant with, I think, the Scottish Terrier down the street, and produced my puppy, Shiny. His name was Shiny because he was shiny when he was born.
Probably because
Of
just
the
born.
juice.
Yes. The birth juices.
The birth juices.
They make you shiny.
I don't know why my mom let me name both our dogs. And it's just a beautiful dog. They're very particular looking, but I think there's still a uniqueness in each of them.
Miniature Schnauzer, contrary to probably what people are expecting with what I've said before, I like Miniature Schnauzers.
I was not expecting you to say that.
I do think their beard is too long. That is their one big downside. But I like them having a beard. It's just a bit too long to me in general.
Mine did have a long beard.
But they're not a dog necessarily I would want, but they're a dog that I appreciate exists because I feel like they hit that role well.
I think they do.
They got the cute little floppy ears.
They're loud, but I don't think they yip really.
I don't think they're yippers
either.
either.
Powerful bark.
I think they're more barkers than yippers, and they don't get the yip negative bonus.
That's good. This could be a very wrong, but I think they were bred in Germany to be guard dogs, not for attacking people, but for their loud bark. I think I remember that. 10 out of 10.
You know what? I'm not going to say 10 out of 10. This is more of an 8 out of 10 for me.
Same with your golden retrievers. I think we could end happy on that.
Whoop. Handshake on it. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. That went on for a good bit.
A long time.
We had a lot of thoughts about dogs. Thank you anyone who listened, especially all the way to this point in it. That's kind of wild if someone does that. Tell us what you want us to do. We won't have any suggestion box or anything, but just yell it at us or something. I don't know.
Our addresses.
I don't think we want to give that away.
I was going to say 1-800-SUCK-BIG-DICK like the Young Gravy. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thank you for listening. Tell us your opinion on dogs.
Yes. In the comment section below, if you're watching this on YouTube or a podcast site that has comments, tell us why we're extremely wrong, and we'll tell you why you're extremely wrong.
Good plan.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening in.
Yeah, thank you.
This was fun. See you for the next one.
See ya. That was like a clone trooper movement.
I'm going to end the stream.